What's going on, guys? I'm your host from the East Coast, GinaMan94, here to bring you guys my WWE Smackdown Live review for January 31st, 2017. We're finally at the end of January, and we had a pretty average show of Smackdown, to be honest. I mean, it was good, but I don't know. I just feel like maybe Raw actually was better for once. Yeah, I mean, SmackDown was still cool. I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed everything that happened, but I don't know. It wasn't really nothing, that was too great that really happened. They're just trying to build quickly to the Elimination Chamber. So, yeah, so I guess they're trying to fast forward their storylines a little bit because they only got 2 weeks. But, yeah, this was a pretty solid episode. I mean, nothing to complain about. It wasn't a bad episode or anything. It kicked off with them showing the Royal Rumble highlights for the Cena and AJ match, and AJ was just standing there looking in disgust at the monitor, while we had Daniel Bryan and Shane, just talking about how lovely it was, how great it was, and how good of a night it was for SmackDown, and how they tore the house down. And AJ wasn't hearing none of that. He just wanted his one-on-one rematch. He didn't want it in the chamber. He wanted it as one-on-one. He didn't want his rematch to be the Elimination Chamber match. And Shane tells him that he'll get his rematch. It just won't happen right now. So he does announce that there will be 6 people in the Elimination Chamber. John Cena, the champion, of course. Then we got Bray Wyatt, AJ Styles. AJ Styles will be in the Elimination Chamber. Baron Corbin, Miz, and Dean Ambrose. That would be the 6 competitors competing for the WWE Championship. And AJ told him, and then that's when Dean Ambrose walked in. Right as Shane was telling AJ who was going to be in the chamber, and Dean was like, oh, okay, well, that's all I needed to know. I'm gone. He just, walked in and was like, oh, that's what you wanted to tell me. All right, peace. And and then AJ was like, yeah, get out of here. And Dean was like, maybe we still have some unfinished business, considering James Ellsworth isn't around anymore. He's busy doing whatever with Carmella. So maybe we can finish what we started for once and for all. AJ was like, I don't want to do that. Shane, tell him we're not doing that. And then Shane made the match anyway. So that would be the main event. Dean and AJ Styles once again finishing, I guess, whatever they started, considering James Ellsworth knocked Dean off the ladder the last time they faced off. And then we get John Cena, the 16-time world champion, comes to the ring. He apologizes for disrespecting AJ on the Today Show, says that he's not just a guy from Atlanta. He's an elite WWE superstar who brings out the best in him, and his performance in the Rumble is what the title is all about. So he gave AJ credit, said he's not just a guy from Atlanta, said he shouldn't have went about it that way, and pretty much just gave AJ the respect that he deserves and that he has earned. And then he says he's not about to celebrate his title win. It's not about that right now. It's about opportunity. SmackDown is the land of opportunity, and he wants to give somebody an opportunity. So it seemed like what he was leading up to is once again the John Cena Open Challenge. He said, well, I'm the man to beat. This is the place to be. If you want some, come get some. And then Bray Wyatt's music hits. The little or whatever that is. And and then Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton come out to the stage. And he's with Randy Orton. Bray grabs the mic, and he says, the more things change, the more they stay the same. The title has found his way back to John, but in 2 weeks, he'll find himself trapped inside the chamber with him. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And when the dust clears, Bray Wyatt will be leaving the Elimination Chamber, the WWE Champion. And it'll be the era of Wyatt. And things are changing around here, and Cena can even ask Randy Orton. Randy picks up the mic and says, if Cena just so happens to make it out of the Elimination Chamber, still the champion, he'll be waiting for him at WrestleMania. They'll end the cycle that they've been in for the past, 7-8 years, and he'll set the championship free. They'll both, and that's when they both started to head to the ring, because they were going to jump him, because why not? They're the Wyatt family. And, they get, on the apron. They're surrounding him a little bit, trying to trap him. Cena's just ready to fight. He's like, I'm about to throw these hands either way. And then Bray Wyatt's music thing hits again. And then Luke Harper pops up. And Cena looked at him because he's standing right next to him. Cena was like, oh, shit. And then Luke Harper looked away from him and looked at Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. And Cena was like, oh, he's on my side. So that's when Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton took a powder. It was just like, nah, we out of here. We don't want none of that. We not doing this. And as they started to walk away, Shane McMahon came out and made it a tag team match. And that would be the match to kick off SmackDown. John Cena and Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. It seemed we would see John Cena versus Randy, in the beginning parts of the match, have them go at it. But Harper tagged himself in so that he could go after Randy Orton, the person he believed, caused the dissension in the Wyatt family. And he was kicking his ass for a good minute, and he was just staring at Bray the whole time. He wasn't going to attack Bray, but he was just trying to send a message to him. And then, after a good minute or so of him kicking Orton's ass, he got back into the ring, and Orton got back in and tagged Bray Wyatt in. And Harper, like I said, he ain't want no parts of Bray. He tagged John Cena in. He just smacked him on the chest. Your turn. And he got out of the ring and stood by the barricade. He did not want anything to do with Bray Wyatt. I don't think nobody does. And I like how they're sort of building him up, just in case he does happen to win the Elimination Chamber. The same thing they did with Xavier Woods in the Royal Rumble, bringing back up the mystique of Bray Wyatt, that, hey, he has this mind control over people, and that's what Luke Harper was showing in this match. Obviously, Bray, like I said, still has control over him in some type of way. So Cena was taking a beating for a while between Bray and Randy. They were teeing off on him. They kept going over to Harper in the corner and just taunting him, and Harper was just not enthusiastic about getting into the ring again. Then when Orton was in the match, he knocked Harper off the apron, and Harper got back into the ring and went after Orton, but Bray tried to hold Randy back. He was like, no, you don't go after him. That's what he wants. And somehow Harper still was able to move Bray out the way and hit Orton. And after that, Harper went for, Bray went for the Sister Abigail. Harper countered it to try to hit the Sister Abigail on Bray. And then Randy was about to interfere with that, so Harper kicked him in the face. And that's when Luke Harper caught the Sister Abigail. Cena went to go hit an AA on Bray Wyatt, and then he slid down off his shoulders, turned him around. Randy Orton's right there. Boop! RKO. And that was it. The Wyatt family came away with the victory here. I hope we don't see John Cena versus Randy Orton at the not Elimination Chamber. At WrestleMania. They're doing the match next week, which makes me think that Cena's dropping the title at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Because why would you give away your WrestleMania main event match next week on SmackDown? It wouldn't make sense for them to do that. I don't think they would be that dumb, especially on SmackDown. So I don't think that's going to be the main event of WrestleMania. So we get to see them face off next week, so we'll see. That should be a good match. Hopefully their last match for, once again, a long time. They haven't faced off in a while, so it won't be that bad. Considering it'll be on SmackDown, it'll be a good match. They've always had good matches. It just got tiring after a while. But, so they face off next week, and the Wyatt family won this tag team match. After that, we get a Carmella enhancement match against somebody named Delilah Dawson, some jobber. James Ellsworth, before the match, was doing an introduction for Carmella, and it was cringeworthy to say the least. But pretty much, when the ref was distracted, Ellsworth tripped up whatever jobber she was facing, and then she put her in the code of silence. That was all. Thank you for coming. She tapped out. I don't know what they're doing with this Ellsworth and Carmella thing. It's so weird. It's just like an opposites attract type thing. I'm not sure what the goal for this is. They just don't have anything for Ellsworth at the moment. I thought they were going to throw him on 205 Live, because apparently the guy actually knows how to wrestle. So maybe when they get tired of the gimmicks, and they'll just throw him there or something. Do something like that. Then we got Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler again. Kalisto's trying to still get revenge on Dolph Ziggler, who's been one-upping him every week. But Ziggler once again one-upped Kalisto with a super kick off of the referee, distracting Kalisto in a way. He was just trying to pull him off of Dolph in the corner, and Kalisto pulled away, turned around, boom, super kick. And after this, instead of grabbing a steel chair, Dolph went to take his mask off, and then of course Apollo Crews came out, his friend, trying to save him once again. Dolph ran through the crowd. This is going to lead to a match between Apollo and Dolph. I'm thinking they're probably going to do it at Elimination Chamber, probably a kickoff show match or something, but that's probably when this whole thing will end, and we'll probably do it then. After that, we got a little promo from Becky Lynch and Naomi talking about the sneak attacks from Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Becky said she's going to get revenge with Naomi by her side. Naomi said that Alexa Bliss called her a nobody last week, and she became a somebody at the Royal Rumble when she pinned her and snatched that blonde head bald. And they're both going to feel the fire glow, or the glow fire. I forgot what they said. Something like that. That's when we get the tag team match, Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. I kind of felt a little weird about this match. And I've been feeling a little weird, not just about the SmackDown women's matches, but just women's matches on Raw and SmackDown. Mostly Raw. They're kind of sloppy. Some points of the match, it just seems like they just botch a lot. Very botchy. I don't know. It seems like WWE is holding them back from what they can actually do, and they're just doing these gimmick moves, and it's just not working. Let them just do what they do best. They know how to wrestle. Just let them go out there and do it. They can kick some ass. It's just weird. Like, they're not executing the moves as fluently as I know they can. And I think Mickie James botched a couple times, and maybe even Becky once or twice. I can't even remember. It was an alright match, though. Becky and Naomi worked a quick pace, while Mickie and Alexa worked a slower pace, and they were working over people. Becky was hungry for that revenge from Mickie James attacking her and, siding with Alexa Bliss and costing her the championship inside the steel cage. And Mickie James was just trying to stay away from her as much as she could. They eventually both got into the ring, went at it. Mickie almost gained a pinfall over her, but Naomi was able to break that up. Then they continued to work over Becky for a little bit. That's when Naomi got her hot tag, started fucking shit up. She threw Mickie out the ring and was just insiguriating people and just kicking people in the face, and she was just doing it all. Naomi's going to be a future women's champion, I hope. The way they're building her, the way she's just coming into the match and just taking over, she's going to be a women's champion soon. And then she got double teamed. Becky speared Mickie James out of the ring, and then Naomi was able to hit that split-legged moonsault that's become her finisher, and once again she pinned Alexa Bliss. So that's 2 times now that she's pinned Alexa Bliss in the past 2 days. She definitely has a case for a women's championship match. Do I think she's going to win it? Probably not. But at the same time, she's still going to make the case that she deserves a title shot. And I think she deserves it. It's long overdue. I don't know if she'll take the title off of Alexa. That remains to be seen. But maybe she'll say next week that she wants her at Elimination Chamber. Because next week will be the go-home show. I think next week's the go-home show. Or maybe week after next. I'm not sure. 2 weeks. Yeah, it's too much math for me to figure out. We had a promo with American Alpha. They said that nobody has been challenging them for their tag team championships ever since they won them from the Wyatt family a few weeks ago. So they're issuing an open challenge. And I thought, and I think everybody else thought, that the Revival were going to come out and accept the challenge. But no, we didn't get the Revival. We did get them Thugs. We got the Usos. The Usos came out. I'm like, okay. They're trying to get the tag team championships back. You could just tell by the look of American Alpha, they were just pissed that the Usos came out. Because if you remember, the Usos keep taking out Chad Gable, so they definitely got history with each other. But then, after the Usos came out, that's when the Ascension came out, Breezango came out, the Vaudevillains came out. And when the Ascension and the Vaudevillains came out, I busted out laughing. Because I'm like, I know damn well none of these 2 teams right here that just came out think that they're in line for any type of tag team championship match. The Ascension hasn't won 10 matches since going to the main roster, so I know damn well they're not getting a tag team championship match. And the Vaudevillains, I freaking forgot that they were on SmackDown. I haven't seen them in months. I forgot about them. The only team that really had a case was the Usos. Even Heath Slater and Rhino, they lost their rematch, so they got to earn it. I haven't really seen a lot of tag team matches, in terms of tag team division matches, but I don't know. They all started brawling, though. They just went at it. All of them started kicking each other's ass. They came back from commercial. Referees were trying to separate them. They were still going at it. And then American Alpha, Heath Slater, and Rhino started throwing people out the ring, and they were the last 2 teams left. So I'm guessing we're going to get that match probably at Elimination Chamber as well. because you know all the titles got to be defended. Not sure who Dean is gonna defend his Intercontinental Championship against though. Probably Miz. Yeah. No. If Miz is in the chamber, who is he gonna face? Is Dean in it? Yep, Dean's in it too. So the IC title won't be defended then. So that automatically means Dean isn't gonna win the chamber. Of course, they're not gonna put the WWE title and the IC title on him at the same time. And so we'll see what happens in the chamber. Very interested in that match. It'll be a hellacious match, and hopefully we get blood. As weird as that sounds, as gruesome as that sounds, I hope we get blood. That'll be a nice little touch to add to the match. After that, Daniel Bryan was in his office. He called Natalya and Nikki Bella into his office. Natalya came with 2 security guards for protection because she, quote unquote, doesn't want to get attacked from behind anymore. Heel heat. Heat at its finest right there. Natalya, the one who attacked Nikki Bella from behind, starting all of this, doesn't want to be attacked from behind. Huh. Ironic, isn't it? Very, very ironic. So Nikki Bella came in, started making fun of her because she had security and all this stuff. They started arguing back and forth. Daniel's trying to get them to calm down. They weren't listening to him, and then he yelled, "Hey!" And then they both shut the hell up, and he told them that he's making a match, them 1-on-1 at Elimination Chamber to settle this once and for all. I don't think this will be the end of it. Or maybe it will be, but I don't think it will be. But they're going to have a match at Elimination Chamber. And that was pretty much all for that. And then we get the main event. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. It was a pretty solid match. Nothing really to complain about here. It started off real slow. And beginning part of the match, I was focusing on The Miz. Because The Miz was on commentary burying people. He was burying Baron Corbin. He was burying David Otunga. Talking about you don't know nothing about the main event of WrestleMania and winning titles. And what have you done in the WWE? And Baron Corbin's a young rookie. And he doesn't know about all of this stuff and all this other stuff. We had a pretty solid match. I was trying to focus on that and The Miz. The Miz is just hilarious, man. He was just burying people. The match started to speed up a little bit. And as they started fighting on the outside, because they weren't really on the outside of the match for at least half of the match, Baron Corbin came out. I'm like, is he about to interfere in this match or what's going on? And he just went to the commentary table. I guess he heard what The Miz was talking about and wanted to come out and defend himself. So he and The Miz started going back and forth on commentary. Miz was like, you don't know nothing about the Elimination Chamber. You don't know nothing about nothing. Corbin was talking about, being an ex-football player coming to the WWE. Miz was like, you're just here because you failed as an NFL player. And he was just burying people, man. It was just hilarious. It was just so funny. The Miz is just freaking awesome. No pun intended. He's awesome. And then the crowd started getting into the Dean and AJ match. They started picking up their pace, like I said. Then they started kicking each other's asses, doing, all the moves that they normally do. AJ Pele kicking and that one move where it looked like an AA and then he smacks his knee on the back of the person's neck. I forgot what that's called. It's a weird name for it. Some type of Japanese move. Dean doing the Tope Suicida. Every time Mauro calls that, I just die laughing. It's just so hilarious. Love Mauro Ranallo. He just shows a lot of emotion in these matches. He puts it over. He stresses the importance of it, even if it isn't that important of a match. He just gets you invested in the match, man. I just enjoy listening to his commentary. And then, Dean was starting to get the upper hand on AJ and was actually able to pin him. But then the referee was distracted because Baron Corbin, I guess, got tired of The Miz yapping his mouth, got up and punched him in the mouth. They just started going at it. They started hitting each other. Referee was distracted. Dean almost got a 3 count. He went over to the ref and then was just like, oh, okay, this is what happened. And then he went and dove, hit a suicide dive on Baron Corbin, who flew over the announce table, taking out commentary for a little bit. And then he threw Miz into the barricade. He got in Maurice's face, like, what you want to do? Got into the ring, and then he got Styles clashed. And AJ Styles picked up the victory over the Intercontinental Champion. And that was all for the match. And then after the match, Miz got into the ring, hit Dean Ambrose with skull-crushing finale because, Dean took him out just a few moments ago. And Baron Corbin got into the ring, hit The Miz with the End of Days. Then he picked up Dean Ambrose and hit him with the End of Days. And that was how SmackDown ended. with Baron Corbin on top, AJ walking up the ramp, just looking at him. One of the competitors for the Elimination Chamber. Well, that's 4 of the 6. We saw Bray Wyatt earlier, and we, of course, know John Cena's in it. So, yeah, it was a pretty good main event. Pretty average episode of SmackDown. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest episode, but SmackDown was consistently good. So, I appreciated the show for what it was. They don't have much time to build towards Elimination Chamber. And by time, I mean not only weeks, but they're only a 2-hour show. So, that's kind of where they come to a disadvantage a little bit. But SmackDown is they're going to do it correctly, and even if the build isn't so great, they're still going to put on a great pay-per-view, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll see what other matches are in store for Elimination Chamber next week and leading into the pay-per-view. And, yeah, it'll be a great pay-per-view. This was like I said, a pretty average show. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed SmackDown, which show did you think won this week? This is the first time I can really ask that question because I felt like it was a competition. Raw was actually pretty good yesterday, and I actually did a review on it. If you guys haven't checked that out, you can go ahead and check that out. It'll probably be down in the description if I'm not lazy, and don't forget to put it in there. But yeah, let me know if you thought Raw was better than SmackDown or SmackDown was better than Raw. Leave your comments of SmackDown down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later on. Peace.